You are listening to The Fatboy Show on your number one station, RX Radio. Fatboy here. How are you doing today? Well, today is, we're approaching the weekend, aren't we? And as we approach the weekend, I'm pretty sure you're thinking about your hookup plans. Who you're going to hook up with. Is it going to be someone who's presently in your life? Or if you haven't had someone presently in your life or don't have someone presently in your life, might you sort of open the black book and look at some old and familiar names and perhaps reach out to them? Everyone knows about those on again, off again relationships. They're the order of the day.
I hate those.
You've been in those?
I'm really not a fan.
On again, off again.
Technically, I haven't been in those
because
the moment I detect I'm in one of them, I bail out.
You bail out?
Immediately.
Why would you do that?
It's a waste of time.
Well, the thing is, they are so widespread and so commonplace that if you get a girlfriend today, chances are, before she started seeing you seriously, she was probably dealing with her on and on, off again dude. There's that guy who's a constant presence in her life, and sometimes he's referred to as bestie. Sometimes he's referred to as bestie.
Bestie. That's I don't believe in that word. I'm like,
so
bestie.
He's the guy that's always in the picture in between her relationships,
or even during, in between fights. Yeah, like in between good happy days, there's the dude popping up like a seaweed.
Well, for me, in the beginning, I used to find it difficult to do these on again, off again relationships. But once I learned how to manage my emotional investment into relationships and flings and things of that nature, for me, it became a different ball game. I start dating a girl today, and we are like on cloud 9. We're flying high in the skies, and it's blissful and romantic, and the butterflies all day. I even as I'm experiencing that in my head, I'm like, okay, it's gonna end eventually. It's gonna cool down. Fear of what?
Fear women.
Fear.
At the back of your head, you're like, yeah, butterflies all the way, but fear women.
Tomorrow she's gonna wake up in some kind of mood, and all of a sudden she's gonna tell me my vibes are off, or that we're not have a connection is not the same.
Like my stars are not aligned,
all that kind of BS.
Scorpio.
So
our planets.
Whereas when that would happen in the past, it would distress me so much. I'd try to sit the girl down. Okay, what can we do? How can we fix it? And then I'd plan trips, road trips, holidays, gifts, and all kinds of things in an attempt to reignite the passion, right? But in my case, it was almost always met with failure. Until I decided, let me stop fighting. If a girl wakes up one day and says she's not feeling me, let her be.
It's painful as it may be.
You
allow.
And then when you sort of just carry on with your life, you might even come to forget about this person. All of a sudden, you bump into them somewhere at a party or at a function.
Like, hey!
Exactly.
What's up?
And all of a sudden, she's checking you out. She's seeing how you're doing, and maybe you're looking slightly better. Maybe you've lost a bit of weight. Maybe you've made a bit of money.
You've gained a bit of length.
That too.
You're doing okay.
And now all of a sudden she's looking at you with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And sometimes, depending on her situation, if she in that instance has maybe just come out of a relationship also, she could easily come back, slide back into your life.
Okay, but this is after like how many breakups? Like we have to consider that.
I had a girl that would I think she dumped me a total of 5 times.
You got 5 times by the same person?
Yeah, but again, it's not like it's okay, and I wouldn't say it was a relationship, but more just sort of just going with vibes kind of thing.
So technically, you were not dumped. I don't know how to explain.
Like you hang out. You're kicking it together, and then
she stops hanging out.
She stops hanging out. The vibes change. She starts to feel like things. Chicks are.
You are the side guy. I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Or she decides that she wants something different in her life, and then if she's gracious, she might even give you a speech letting you know how it's not your fault and how she's searching and trying to find herself. And she'll run off to the next hot guy that's probably caught her eye. In fact, that's probably the reason you're being dumped, is because she's found someone she thinks is interesting.
In the spur of the moment, but that can only happen. Not even happen.
But see, when that guy disappoints and she's back on the streets, eventually she's like, well, wait a minute, James wasn't so bad.
I'm not letting you back in.
But you see, the question is not whether or not you let them back in, but rather in what capacity.
for me personally, and this is maybe just a me thing.
Yeah.
I have a situation when I've been in a serious relationship with someone, I don't want to downgrade it. I would rather just cast you out of my life entirely. So I can't go from we were seriously dating to get married to, now we're just sleeping together. It's tricky for me because it feels like I'm dishonoring the first thing we had. So you go live your life, stay with the good memories, because I guarantee you, if you go through this new experience with me, you are not going to like me. You are not. So
well, I don't know.
I let them go.
You sound very, I don't want to use the word prudish, but some might say you're a man with standards and knows his value. Yeah. For me, like, I always leave the door open, but the door I'm leaving open is the door to the roster. I was trying to be polite about it.
I understand.
So in other words, if you want back in, yeah, please, you're welcome, but please get in. You're in the back of the line, a line that you might not even know exists. In other words, I will not treat you with the same reverence and dignity. Like, I won't like give you super special treatment, but like if you want to like hang with me and hook up with me, if I'm in the mood for it, I'll probably accept.
I'm going to take hanging out of the picture. Hook up, yes. Hanging, no. But that also depends on the kind of relationship we had before we got to this point. If it was that serious, like, I would never do that with a girl I'd introduced to the family and say I want to marry.
No. Okay, so let's say some chick you're dating or you have your situation, whatever it is, and then she gives you the "it's not you, it's me" speech, runs off to go find herself. And then eventually a couple of months later, she realizes she made a mistake. She comes back. And as in her attempt to come back into your life, why at that point wouldn't you try to have her back but on your terms? You want back in? All right, I'm over at my house. Can you just come over with 2 bottles of whiskey and
the big sumbusa,
or
Rolex,
Java's burger, milkshake.
You can roll. Milk it.
Oh, there's this Yaka bill. My Yaka's running out. Like, you make her work.
That's the chick version of it. I think the gay version of making her work is just silence.
Oh, yeah?
You don't even ask for anything. You don't ask for it. You just leave her and see how much she wants it. Because I realized something. When women are trying to earn their way back in, the less you communicate, the more they show.
Okay.
So if someone communicates and you also start back and forth, they're like, nah.
So your thing is, under no circumstances do you let them back in. Like, once they're out.
Red card. If you're out, you're out. And it's perfectly okay.
Or like just one time, or do you have like a limit? Like maybe 2 times or 3?
No, you go, by the way.
Yeah?
No, my argument is this, right? The resentment that builds up from being rejected in a way that it had nothing to do with you, where it's just someone monkey branching to their options.
Right.
That resentment stays.
But why would it?
It doesn't go away entirely. And
but if you know that this is their nature, and this is what someone said, with women you can either love them or understand them. It's not easy to do both. Once you've come to the point where you understand them, why would monkey branching upset you?
I understand monkey branching, but have you been using a condom while you were monkey branching? What precautions have you been taking? Now you're coming back into my life with these diseases. You've been with Asha, help is up in the building. Like, I don't know what's going on. So that's why I wouldn't let you back in. It's more than just emotional. It's physical. There are diseases involved. So I need to know, and I'm not in the mood to test.
Wow, so if any girl is dating you, she better not take it for granted, because once she messes around and the relationship ends, that's it. There's no second chances.
I suck at forgiveness. I won't lie.
What if she's like super hot?
Even bigger problems. The more you
really,
the less attention you give her, the more she realizes maybe I'm not that hot. Like sometimes people just need to F around and learn the hard way for them to act right.
Okay, but I would be interested to see where such standards shall take you, because life is fraught with disappointments. Like, even if you decide that you're going to screen all these girls and not settle for anyone but the best, even that person is a human being. And that person has weaknesses, as do you. You're both going to fall short of each other's expectations.
I thought you were going to say fall short of the glory of God. That's good.
That too. And if that happens, then what do?
Hey, you can't break up with God, man. It's a complex relationship.
Cause me, if I get back with a girl that has like done me wrong, I make them work for their way back, for their space back in my life. It ain't easy. You're gonna have to do like, so like for example, if it's time to get freaky, you're prepared to get super duper freaky. I'm gonna make you do things you ain't even seen in the movies.
I'm going to pull out the sugar cane and the thorns. You're like, hey baby, it's sweet.
You see, and you can do that because you would feel justified. You know, I ain't gotta treat you like a fragile piece of glass, because not you for the streets.
Look,
so now you have been relegated a specific role in my life to just be a toy that I can play with. I owe you no loyalty because you didn't offer it to me.
You are my doll.
So
I get all that, and for me, I wouldn't make her work for it in the sense that I want you to earn me back. But you do what you have to do. If ever I get the interest again, fine. But I'm not looking forward to the day when you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I missed out, I lost out on this, please take me back. I realized waiting for apologies is the biggest weakness. You'd rather just step and go. If you get the apology.
Are you saying you've never asked someone to take you back?
Me?
Yeah.
I've never asked. I have proposed the idea.
And was it accepted?
No.
Oh, they rejected you.
But it was one time. And then later on you get to realize it wasn't even worth it to start with. And this is not consolation. This is just the reality.
All right.
You know you are in a toxic situation from the beginning, and the only reason you're asking is because you are getting gaslit.
Okay.
And after that you realize, no, I was actually the cool one in this relationship. This person's messed up.
Well, I respect you. You're definitely a better man than me, a more honorable man. You know, some of us have been trained by the streets.
Sensei streets.
We didn't create the rules, but we accept the rules.
We understand the rules.
And we understand the rules. And we understand that you need to keep listening to your number one station, RX Radio.